5:55 Central Time. Today is Tuesday, May 27th, 2025. This is Billy Crone at the Merriam Community Center to record and share the Merriam Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting.
Talk about it, so let's make a decision.
Hey,
Billy.
howdy.
Make a decision. When will that be for, it just went out, actually.
Okay, good.
For-
How many kids do you guys have in your troop?
Up to 10 o'clock
Right now, like,
Friday, and then we'll make a decision Friday morning. It's still gonna be super cold, but based upon our policies and procedures, we could open. And then I think that's the first day that I saw sunshine on my phone, so at least if the sun's out, people may come and maybe hang out, lay
Is that
out.
pool heated?
Right, it is not.
It takes a
Mother
long time
Nature
for it
is
to
good.
water down.
Now, the beauty of our facility is we have indoors, so they could come and, as far as the swimming aspect, swim indoors, and then just go outside.
Yeah. I'm sure a little bit of that has to do with parents as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta drive you over.
Remember the blue lips and blue.
I
lips?
grabbed you off for 10 days.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
We tend not to go to the early swim sessions, kind of wait till July or August if we had kids that were eligible. That wanted the warmer water.
Everybody swimming laps in the morning wants to go
What do
outside.
you got now?
They'll go out at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially on a swim team or something.
Oh, you're gonna get
An extra
into regular water.
40 laps.
They have indoors and only got heated pools going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Much obliged. So if you're
I
early,
should ask Cole if he's got a thermometer in the outdoor pool, just curious to know what it's.
Probably not a bad idea.
Fortunately, you know, he usually, every day he records the indoor pool and therapy pool, temperature wise.
Sure.
So, I should ask him, to drop a thermometer in there and see what.
You know Portuguese?
Aquarium.
Falo pouquinho.
Huh? That's
Yeah.
impressive. It's not that common of a language. But it was in Brazil, I guess.
Yeah. You know, it's one of those weird things, and I didn't know until I got to spend some time in Brazil. There are more Brazilians than there are all the other Spanish countries in South America
Good.
combined.
Well,
It's really a Portuguese-speaking continent with a bunch of Spanish speakers around the perimeter.
On the perimeter,
Yeah.
Just let them know and then.
No, it's
and
really
when
ugly.
we did- they asked
It's
him-
sort of thing, Brazilians
when
are
they
like,
gave
oh no,
the-
man, you do
this is
great.
the
But
second
it's only
request
great
that
in the
they've
sense
done,
that
so,
if they can't speak English,
sure
it's
they don't
fabulous.
wanna
It makes you
lose-
get by, but it's pretty ugly.
The
Is Brazil
cleaning
kind of like
contract.
Australia in terms of like the people are all around the edges of it and the inside is nature?
Correct.
I mean,
Yeah, except
a lot
the
more-
exact reverse, it's all wet instead
Yes,
of dry,
yeah.
yeah. Although I was down in Minas Gerais, so Brazil's the size of the United States.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, so
So
you've got
it's,
that
that's probably
chunk of the
from
Amazon.
5 a.m.,
Mhm.
5 p.m.,
Down
your
south,
experience
you
from
end up
5
in like
a.m.,
the
3 hours.
Looking
Yeah.
out of the window.
I went to
Those
see
are
it
the
Sunday.
Girls that knocked their volleyball,
Many,
like
many years ago, I
Raptors, it's
traveled all over the world. I used to go
Yeah,
on
so-
far out
I
vacations.
don't think
Yeah.
they're
I stood on the Great Wall of
to-
China with shoes just like
We need like
this.
something
I
like
have
10 or
never
12
been
foot
to
to
Brazil.
get
I
it
would
out
like to
there.
do that.
So we're just gonna
It
do
Light
is-
bulb changer.
something,
All as
yeah.
you would expect.
Drove.
Like I could
So-
totally imagine being able to climb
Well,
that.
we'll just-
So
Yeah,
yeah,
if it was
yeah.
staffed with soldiers with like
Yeah.
cauldrons of boiling
Gotta go
oil
on.
and arrows, then you probably wouldn't
No.
try.
Right.
But it's totally climbable.
Yeah.
But it's very long. It goes off into the distance.
Okay.
You know.
Let's bring our May meeting to order of the Merriam Parks and Rec Advisory Board. We're all just missing Alex, so, and Anna, of course. Dave is our person tonight.
Be your celebrity host.
Celebrity host,
Thank
right.
you. Yeah, Alex was excused too. She called in since we.
Okay, good. Okay, any comments?
I think I did have one, but it was on an agenda thing, so if it gets covered, I won't raise my hand.
Okay, all right, thank you, Billy.
Mhm.
Anybody else have anything? Okay. Did we have an opportunity to review the minutes from the last meeting? Any comments, changes? We're good to go? Move to approve, anybody?
I move to approve.
Thank you, Kathy. Katie, okay?
That's it.
All in favor of
Kathy and
approving
Katie?
the
Yes.
April minutes? I guess we have to be a little more considerate of Dave's
Yes, I will.
secretarial skill. That's okay.
I only got a couple jobs, I can't screw it up. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Okay, we're all good to go?
Yes.
Okay. Director's update, Dave?
Okay, in your packet you have, the update. I just have, Anna had a few things, that is kind of an update to the information that you received. The first thing has to do with the outdoor pool. It's just been unseasonably cool. So our policy is we will not open if the air temperature is not at least 70. And if you looked at this weekend and through this week, we've been sending out notifications about that we have to cancel or basically delaying the open of our pool. Right now, we're shooting for Friday. Friday at 10, we'll make a decision. That's kind of our policy. At 10 o'clock, we'll make a decision for that day. And so we're shooting for Friday. At least that's the first sunshine on my phone. Hopefully we'll be able to open on that day. It's still gonna be very, very cold because we haven't had, days of sunshine that can warm 300,000 gallons of water. So it's gonna still be very, very cold. But we're hopeful that maybe on Friday we can open for the season.
Sure, some brave souls will dive in.
Yes, for sure. But did anybody else have any questions about the director's update or director's report?
I had a quick question on that calendar system. That was for the.
Yes.
Yeah, is that like, I just noticed since I take my daughter to the kids swim portion, is that also gonna be implemented there, or is there gonna be any kind of changes? With
So, basically, what had kind of come about is, we've had a calendar for, it'd be 5 years. And it was what we saw, kind of what was out there at the time. And Michael, who's our aquatic assistant, it was just cumbersome as far as how you would revise it. And he goes, there's gotta be something that's a little more user-friendly out there. So he found this new calendar, and it seems to be something that can be updated quickly and easily. And so we're trying it out to see how it works. But basically, we want to be able to, for people that are either lap swimmers or open swim, what's available in the pool. For the lap swimmers, we're able to put, hey, there's 2 lap lanes open or 4 lap lanes open, or it's open swim. So it basically has to do with bodies of water and what's open and what's not open. It's not necessarily a calendar for activities, but it at least shows the general population, hey, if I want to go open swim, what does that look like? And would the lanes be available, or would they be reserved for lap swimming times? And so far it seems to be working a little bit better. We really try to drive people to that so that one, it kind of cuts down on the phone calls, hey, is it lap swimming? Yes, no. Where they can go online and they can see kind of live what they're looking at as far as availability.
Like, yeah, especially have lane closures or whatever, do the maintenance.
Yes, or if we have had one of the Bishop Miege High School has actually rented a couple of our lanes, so we're able to put that on there. That's something that could be out of the ordinary, so we're able to put that on there that, hey, these 2 are reserved for the rental, but these other 2 are open for use.
Okay. Yeah. Billy, go ahead.
Yeah, I recall what I think of from last week. So on the director's report, there's something about a new rule about no hyperventilating. I can only imagine there was some dumb TikTok
Yes.
challenge or something
Challenge, yes.
that probably stirred that on. And that sounds like good wisdom. I just feel a little bit reluctant about telling patrons how to breathe. That seems
Well,
You would think we
It's-
would
well, I know
have
it
to.
can be dangerous, right? But I mean, I would be fine
Tell
with
them
like,
how to not to,
let's say, but
not
maybe
breathe, yeah.
no dangerous or reckless activity might be a great way to put that without saying breathe this way or don't breathe that way. It feels like very overreach a little bit for a government agency to tell people, here's how you're allowed to breathe and not breathe.
So
I get
John-
it.
Yeah.
I mean, it came from the county.
It did come from the county, correct, yeah. So the county, Johnson County has adopted
Yeah.
the World Aquatics Code.
Yeah.
And so from that, the changes for us are just a few minor adjustments to our signage.
Yeah.
And some of the things are probably things we already do now, but they want us to post that. So when the county comes to inspect our pool, if we don't have those things outlined that they specifically wanted us to outline,
Yeah.
it could close us down per se.
Yeah.
So we're,
Maybe I'll say something to Becky Fast then, because she's our county commitment.
oh, well, yeah, you're more than
So-
welcome to, because but it would have to come from the county,
Yeah.
down to us.
We had the same thing at our complex pool. as well,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about a thermometer and probably something with a digital with a readout so that people could easily see it day before they stick their little toe in there.
Yeah.
Or some 4-year-old dives in.
Yeah. I know that Cole a lot of times will post on the dry erase board what the temperature is of the main pool and then what the therapy pool is. It's 83 or it's 91, depending upon the day. So.
Going back to the calendar, I guess, for at least for the kids, like super kids and stuff like that. And I think Cole's looked into it a little bit more, but maybe just request for myself is, and from other people I've kind of heard is it's kind of hard on some of the scheduling and just seeing like past reports without having to like message Cole and then check or kind of keep your own log. And I don't know if there's a more robust system out there.
So are you looking for like more activity?
Well,
based
yeah,
on,
like logging, like which, like, if I take my daughter like 3 days to swim versus 2, or just having something more visible, then I think Cole keeps like maybe an Excel sheet that
He
does.
does,
But
he does.
it's just something that I could also look at. That,
What is it for?
like super kids, like kids swim classes or infant survival swim and stuff like that. Just kind of logging, kind of reporting or logging in, like when you check in each morning, you sign a sheet and sometimes just something that's a little bit visible on like when times are available or different classes are available, as well as like if a teacher is sick or something like that. Without having, I'm sure the staff here calling everybody, that's a big hassle on the staff. As well as just something like a log, what classes you have swim, just so it's like, I'm pretty sure I logged it, or maybe I forgot to check mark or whatever. So just something a little bit more visible.
Oh, something more.
You don't like sign up for, I don't know how to say, swim lessons at work, are you using like Class Pass or something for them? Or
Yeah,
you just
you-
sign up for a session and you wanna track what you
Yeah, right, they're
do?
kind of, some of them I think are weekly, like you can go to 2 classes a week, so it's like, all right, did I hit 2 or not,
Well, does it matter if you came to, are you wanting to know if you get to roll them over?
Yeah, and, I think there's been some confusion that we've had where, there's been, things that have been logged in, like wrong, where, the staff thought that we were going to one class, and in reality, we're going to another, and it should have been taught to the instructors or
Well, I
whatever.
think you should take attendance in every class.
But-
Well, so, I could explain, we have, when the super kids are coming, we have class lists, that are generated from RecTrack, and they are little check boxes that have each one of the dates, for the month, in which they come in, find their name, and check mark, that they're present with an X or check. The thing that's a little bit, I guess, not user friendly, is that there's 70 names. So we're talking there's a couple sheets of them. So you have to find your name.
Alphabetical.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's just the one course type, so
yeah,
you
we
might be in
can,
a
we
different
can
class.
do that, but
Yeah.
you cross it, and so you're talking, if you're in the 3rd or 4th, you've got to come over to the column and, did you check the right box, or did you check your neighbor above you or your neighbor below you? So, I wish there was something out there where you could come in and, like the dentist office, you come in and, on a tablet and go, oh, I'm Dave, oh, you're here for
Like the
super
receptionist.
kids. Yeah, exactly. So we really don't have anything currently other than the paper version. And it does, if a parent doesn't sign up every month, well, then they're not on the list. And so, because you haven't paid. And so it goes back to the registration, they've got to go back to and we register them for the next month. And so if they're not on that list, we either write them in, and so that they can check their name off. You can only imagine with 70 some kids in that particular program, we may have 4 or 5 that are adding about every other day for at least the first week.
Like
So-
my daughter's in 2 of those separate.
Right,
classes,
and so you
it's
don't
like
wanna-
2, yeah.
I mean, it would be, I guess it'd be a little labor intensive to, make all the copies, change the copies, and then manually check who was here, who wasn't here.
It just seems like a big burden on staff and, you know,
It-
and families, you know, too, just to
Yeah.
again verify, did we actually do super kids on this day or infant, you know, anyway,
Right,
so.
right.
Anyway, yeah, I just saw that you guys were able to find a solution for the other calendar, and maybe that's, something that we can.
Okay,
continue to look
well, I'll
for.
definitely look and see if there's something we can do, cause you're right, I agree, when I'm up there, like, when a child come for swimming lessons, you've got several options. Is it our swim lesson? Is it our private lesson? Is it Mary Jo's Super Kids? Or, you know, is it a private lesson with Mary Jo? So you've got your child here and you're coming in for swim lessons, I have, 4 or 5 choices, and staff does a great job of knowing who goes where. I'm a little bit fish out of water when I come up there and I'm like, you know, who are you and which one are you here for? So I guess the good thing is we have a lot of options for parents and for kids. It's just tracking it is a little cumbersome, I guess.
Can they be given a badge or something that indicates what part they're in to assist them or a parent in filling out the form correctly?
Well, I don't know who's bringing a mom, the next day
Okay.
dad. I mean, it's
Okay.
kind of, I don't know if that would work, but.
If they're not on the list, Dave, are they able to, let's say they're behind in paying,
Yes.
can they pay and participate?
Oh,
Instead of
yes.
having to go back?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yeah, in fact, a lot of times that's what we'll do.
Okay.
And if they're running in on 2 wheels and they're in a
Right.
hurry, yeah, they can go down and we can.
Okay.
A lot of the folks the great thing about the program is that there's a lot of repeat patrons and parents. So all that stuff is in our computer, all their credit cards are already in our system. So if we know their last name and they're like, oh, I haven't signed up yet, they literally last name and we can sign them up almost without them. They've got a stored, it's tokenized card, so it's PCI compliant, but we can charge them for the class and.
So repeat should know what the process is anyway.
Correct, it would just be somebody new, and somebody new we would know or would welcome them and kind of explain the detail, but.
Okay.
But I know when I see parents come in, you know, there's, you know, 6 or 7 sheets on there and they've gotta find which super kid, which class, and so it does take a little search and find.
I wasn't familiar with it.
Yeah.
That does sound like.
I think retinal eye scan would be a good thing, if we could, you know,
Well,
capture
facial
them and they would
facial recognition.
recognize who you were, and we're like, you know, hi Mary, welcome to level 1. Yeah. We'll keep
Well,
playing.
yeah, and if there's a good tracking system, I think that'll help parents too, cause like,
Yeah.
again, especially for the private lessons, it's not always
Yes.
communicated to staff, like, hey, you know, like, for example, my daughter went for like a 15-minute or like, you know, it was marked
Yes.
as a 30-minute, and then it was
Right.
like, I had to go
Is that
through
1
like a
or 2?
calendar for
Yes.
like 3 months, being like, was that a 15-minute class or a 30-minute class?
Yeah.
Like, you know, so just something that's a little more visible, easier to track, and hopefully easier on staff and everybody, yeah, but I didn't know if there's better solutions out there, but just a request to with the parents.
We will continue to, I mean, that's a great idea, it's a great idea, we just haven't gotten anything yet. Yeah. So any other, questions about the director's report? Does anybody have any questions about the monthly, membership report? Anna has on here, once again, with the cooler temperatures forecasted this last week of May, it looks like we will probably not be not last year's visitation, both in memberships and in daily pass, that we won't surpass 2024. And of course, then that will impact revenues as well. This will be the first month that we have not surpassed. So, you know, if you remember there for a while, we were constantly beating last year, every month, always beating it, always beating it, always beating it. This will be the first one that we do not. There's no need for panic. I think it's just a matter of Mother Nature. And if you miss 3 or 4 days and we see 300, 400, 500 people, it's obviously probably not going to hit that mark. So something to take note of. But Anna wanted you to know that we probably will not hit that mark. Any more questions about membership at all? Okay. Next thing we have on here is, so visits. staff has compiled, as they do, the rec report, and it's by season. So what was in your packet was the winter, spring, rec report. Overall participation increased about 5,084 from 2024. That's an increase of 7%. The categories contributed to this growth was youth aquatics, 23.3%, adult fitness, 23.9%, yoga and water fitness were also increased, and 50 plus classes. One of the notable things that I wanted to share with you is Chloe Holmes, which is our new, well, not, we can't call her new because she's been here a year. I always said a year, you're on probation. She's on probation now. She's been over a year, but she's really doing a fantastic job creating new programs. She's actually teaching some of the classes herself. So once again, getting great rapport with some of the seniors. She has a new silver and fit class, yeah, that she teaches and has just been doing a great job. So it's because of her efforts is why we've seen an increase in some of those classes. The other thing Anna wanted to include was just that our Park and Recreation Master Plan that was slated to occur in 2026, staff will include a needs survey to help identify there's areas of focus that are maybe not being met. So, and that's something we'll constantly do, trying to see if there's things out there that people want to see that we're not offering, and then we can offer those specific classes. Any question about the rec report? Questions about classes or numbers, or I thought 5,000 was a pretty good increase from the year previous. Then the stuff that I was gonna just kind of report on, they're all just kind of updated information for upcoming events. The art exhibit this month, the opening is June 5th. It's a colorful combine with 3 artists, and the opening reception is June 5th, and it's 7 to 8:30. So if you're out and about, you'd like to catch an opening art reception, please join us. We do have a free day coming up. It's Friday, June 6th. We do these periodically. Merriam residents have an opportunity to come to the community center for free. They just have to show proof of residency. And we do get some people that take advantage of that. I don't know if you could notice who our models are in this picture. It's Katie's family. We are still getting a lot of mileage from those pictures. I think we took 4 or 5
Any
years
royalties,
ago.
any royalties, Kate?
As you notice now, we're going to the back side, but
The boys are cute. We'll show them.
no, all kidding. They're great. Yeah, great pictures, great family pictures. Our Family Fun Fridays is coming up. It's June 13th. It'll be at Brown Park. This is the one that we do free hot dogs. We give out free hot dogs, live music. Big Rick, which is a soul band, will be performing. And then we just have activities for kids. We bring our activity trailer where you can play cornhole and some just face painting and just some other fun activities for kids. So that's June 13th. Next one we wanted to talk about was Make Music Kansas City. It's Make Music Day. It's June 21st, and Renee is trying to get different performers to come. This is a program that runs all metro-wide. A lot of Kansas City agencies and cities are participating in Make Music Day. Currently, we only have 1 performer lined up, so that's why she didn't put in there the exact times. She's looking for, it's a Saturday this year. So the 1 performer she has is actually a steel drum performer, and they're going to be performing out on the pool deck, so that'll be kind of fun. So she will now start to fill performers, from 4 to 5 and from 3 to 4, 2 to, so hopefully she'll get some more performers for Make Music Day. This is one of these programs that they're performing the goodness of their heart. It's free for us, we don't pay any of our performers to come for this particular event. But it's metro-wide, so hopefully it'll gain some traction.
And you could
All
sell,
of the out on the pool patio.
Yes, little pool patio or the courtyard, yes, yeah.
you could sell pina coladas.
We won't be, that is, George, once again,
Still wrong.
that is a great idea, but no. Then Flags for Freedom is coming up. The display will be June 28th through July 5th. It's at Merriam Marketplace, obviously. And then on July 4th at 1 o'clock, we'll have live patriot music by the American Legion Band of Greater Kansas City, and we'll have some food trucks. It's usually a fun event, sometimes a little warm, but we'll be putting up flags during that time. Our farmers market kicked off. Opening day was Saturday, May 3rd, and we had some giveaways. It was a Navy shopping bag if you were the first 200 vendors, or shoppers rather. And then we also gave away a car air freshener. This is kind of one of my giveaway ideas, thinking that it's in your car and you're thinking, you know, Saturday rolls around and it's kind of that subliminal messaging, oh my gosh, we should go to the farmer's market. So we'll see if they are gonna enjoy them or not. Hopefully they will. What I wanted to point out is our shopper numbers look very comparable to previous years. But Ingrid did set a record for opening day. She had 36 vendors, which is a record. For those of you that may not remember, we have 36 stalls, so she was completely full of vendors. And that's never happened. That's definitely a record. So hats off to her getting some vendors for. Has anyone been to the market so far this year? Yeah, good. So that's the farmer's market.
Do we know if any of the vendor increases due to like Overland Park's farmers market, kind of that area being under construction? And all
Well, I think we may have some of those. I'm not 100% sure if what vendors that are doing are part-time with our market. And hopefully if they are, they'll maybe stay, because you know, we have just so convenient to come in and shop. You have to worry about a place to park. But I know we don't have quite as many shoppers as Overland Park Farmers Market does, because they're only about 20 times the size as us. But as far as our venue and what we have to offer, hopefully those shoppers and some of those vendors will take advantage of it.
Certainly better parking.
What's that?
Certainly better parking.
Yes, certainly better parking. So, any questions about the farmers market? All right. So I think we're at new business. Yes, if you remember last month, the scouts came and talked to you about pitching the idea of Owl Prowl for 2026. And like they've done in years past, they have come to request the resident rate versus the commercial rate. And so they have done that again. So they have kind of included a letter. And I think Anna may have showed this last month, but this is basically the breakdown of all the rooms that they rent, what the resident fees are, what the commercial fees would be. And it's roughly about a $2,000 discount for Owl Prowl. I know last year was the first year that I got a chance to come, and Anna thought it would be nice if I would experience it from 11 to 3 in the morning. So I did, and it was actually a great event. It was you kind of say organized chaos, but there was over 1,000 people in the building, and the girls were grouped into pairs of 2, and they were swimming and they were doing activities, and a lot of activities in the gym, and a lot of parent support as well as supervision. They basically had, obviously, all the doors blockaded, but they had areas of our facility that they weren't supposed to be in. Those were also volunteered. So I think each year, what's important is it seems to get better. The first year they had never been here, we didn't know what to expect. And then the second year, we just grew from that, made some notes, hey, we need to offer, have staff here, we need to, you know, do the trash this way. And so every year it's gotten better and easier. And so I have to say they're a great group to work with. They're very organized and they don't really cause any problems or issues or damage or all those good things. So yeah, does somebody, yes, sir?
I think it's great that should do it, no questions or challenges. I'd like to see the community center in the city taking advantage of 1,000 households being represented who may not be members.
Yes.
By getting them to agree that we're gonna follow up with a couple of messages saying, hey, did you like our facility? Check out our programs.
Yeah.
Here's a discount on a membership or on a day pass if you wanna come and check us out again during daylight hours.
Yes, normal hours.
Because it's very good that they're passively being exposed to the quality of our product. And I think the next step is trying a little harder to convert.
I think that's a great idea, because depending upon how far away they live from us, I know there's troops that are, you know, it's metro-wide.
And if that's through the scouts, that they have to chaperone a message, or something, or if we have a sign-up sheet here or something, because we want to protect, blah, blah, blah. But, strike while the iron is hot.
Yes,
Is there any idea, Dave, how many troops that attend?
Oh gosh, I know how many girls, I think it's in here, how many girls are in here. I don't, it says the troop number wise, 500 to 600 girls.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that breaks. What's your typical troop? 15?
Girl Scouts, I don't know, but probably 15 or 20.
15 or 20. So yeah, it's quite a few. Yeah. Like I said, it's really amazing to see, well, one, to see our building tested the way, you know, I mean, they're basically using the whole gym, the pool, all the community spaces, and they're pretty organized, which is nice to see.
They're obviously pleased with the way you guys performed in handling them, so that's a good thing too.
We send them home with a swag or a postcard about the community center and or the city's family activities, or a copy of Merriam magazine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the free day thing would be a good thing to show them too. Especially-
When they were here last year, we asked them if they could tell us the troop names and contacts of the ones in the Shawnee Mission area. We probably never got that, but that would be the sensible
Yeah.
thing to follow up with, because
Well,
people from Liberty or Raymore
Right.
don't wanna come.
Right. Well, and it says that the one it was a teen group that was from Merriam, I believe.
Yes.
But yeah, we can ask for that. We can ask who's in attendance. Once the girls sign up, they have who they are, and if you would like more demographics as far as, like you said, are they 5 miles away, 10 miles away? If they're from Tonganoxie, maybe not, but if they're in the metro area. But one of the other things, just like showcasing our facility, a lot of times we may get a rental from them, like,
Right.
because of our venue. I mean,
Or like, oh, I'm
we're,
party here, or-
yes, our baby shower, wedding reception,
Yeah.
all those things, are great calling cards for us, and.
Probably would, I'm sure that there's some main contact that's having coordinated, maybe the ladies that were here last month.
Yes.
That, maybe you can, once we vote on this, you can indicate, what, as Christopher mentioned, you know, we'd like to have some contact information and invite people back for a free day or whatever the case may be, you guys figure out. that,
No. The only caution is we do not do that for any other rental group.
Yeah.
And why not?
Well,
Would be
yeah,
my
well,
follow-up as
yes,
a board
what,
person.
yeah, so the groups that come in here, I was teasing the other day that, you know, we're the baby shower capital of Kansas City, because every single Saturday, Sunday, we have 3 or 4 baby showers in 2 or 3 of the rooms.
Yeah, that's great.
And they're, you know, 100 people a shot. And we don't, or have not asked for, you know, who are your guests?
Yeah.
simply just rent our facility.
But you can always mention to the organizer, feel free to pass the word or whatever it
Or
is.
send them an e-bulletin that they can forward.
Yes,
to
or-
their-
yeah.
Make it easy for them
Yeah.
to follow up with.
Yeah.
I like it.
I move we approve this week.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, done deal. Monument sign.
Monument sign, we have a couple new signs that were budgeted this year. And so Anna wanted me to get your blessing on the design. So the first one, I think they're actually reversed here, but first one is, if you remember Waterfall Park, we have the Julius McFarland soccer fields that were dedicated in his memory. So, and I, of course, been here 23 years, so I was the one that purchased the last Julius McFarland sign that's currently there. And that sign matched the Waterfall Park sign when we purchased the sign. So some people said, well, it was a temporary sign. Well, it wasn't a temporary sign at all. It was the exact company as the park sign was at the time. So when we upgraded to the new signs, someone said, well, it of course doesn't look, we have a very beautiful stone sign and then just a board that says his name. So Anna had put it in the budget to upgrade the sign to be consistent with all our other park signs. It's gonna be a little bit of a smaller sign, but it will be kind of where the artwork is on the trail. But so basically this is what the sign would look like. It matches all our other park signs, our Merriam logo, the Julius McFarland Fields. And then instead of having it embedded all the way into the park itself, we're gonna bring it back onto Merriam Drive, so it's a little more prominent. So that's kind of the design of this particular sign.
Is his family still in the community?
Yes.
Maybe they'd like the old sign.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know, yeah.
So where will the sign for Waterfall Park be?
Well, we
Are we
already,
gonna do that?
no, we already have it there.
And where is it sitting?
So it is up from,
I see this overhead and I can't follow it.
yeah, so if we go
Okay, there.
right here, the other sign is farther up the street,
But on Merriam
on
Way.
Merriam Drive, yeah.
It's like by where you turn into the parking
Yes,
lot.
closer by
right?
the entrance, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's not, that's where the old one was. The old one was, by the entrance. And we didn't put it back there by the entrance because of, the hindrance of seeing if you were pulling out of the park and you were looking for traffic, we didn't want to put a big, giant, massive sign there. So it's actually farther up, by, where the Caterpillar artwork is. So it's basically as you're driving northbound, it's at where Waterfall Park starts, so that's where the sign's at.
Okay.
This sign is just gonna sit off the street a little bit more, but kind of by that bend of the trail. It's gonna be actually where Waterfall Park is the first part of the park. The Julius McFarland sign is gonna be right at kind of where the soccer fields start. So they're a little ways away.
Might see if the family's still around, maybe they'd be interested in the old sign.
Yeah, very much so.
Be a nice perk for them.
Yeah. So does anybody have any questions about how it looks, the design of that particular, like I said, it matches what all our other signs is, so it's just Julius McFarland Fields.
And then we've added the Johnson County Library
Yes, so,
words to our,
so that is the next sign. So any more questions about the soccer sign? So moving on to the new community center sign, that is this design, and we basically have just added Johnson County Library to our sign. And then the only thing that we've done here is if you notice, if you're coming from, if you're going southbound, It sits kind of a little lower, so sometimes it's a little hard to read. Where the new sign is gonna be about the same location, but it's gonna be raised a little bit so that it won't be so, you'll be able to
So
see it.
which side, which street is it gonna be on?
It's right exactly where the sign is now.
Right.
Yeah, we're not changing the location of that sign at all, we're just elevating
Yeah,
the
those
sign.
need
a
to be
little bit.
raised for sure. Has the library looked at that?
Yes,
They have.
And they okayed it?
yes,
Okay, are they funding it?
no.
The county,
so that-
getting it
So if you must know, and there's no controversy, but, we could have just said Johnson County Library. So their main focus was to include the sunflower, cause that is their, not their their identifiable.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's okay.
so yeah, it's, yeah.
Landmark.
Yeah, yeah.
So, just for the sake of the record, they have a $53 million annual budget, I think they can probably afford to offset the cost of
Afford
the
the
sign a
sign.
little bit, because the marketing budget is enormous.
Well, you know, it's.
Just send them a bill.
But,
And like
but-
half, right? Yeah.
if we're being courteous, I hope that the city and the community center are encouraging the library's awareness of your courtesy and appreciation of it.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. Any question about the design of the library sign? Okay, I think I need a blessing from the board.
You do.
Move to approve the design and placement of the new monument signs as indicated in the agenda.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Move to approve the design and placement of
Other business?
Any other business?
move we adjourn.
I'll second.
Was that Christopher? And a second? Katie?
Okay, oh, we're out here. Don't want to watch your Royals game.
Katie, thank you very much for reaching out.
Thank you for the swag.
Who gets those messages?
Huh?
Who gets this on the other end of that?
Well, so, it technically would be Renee,
Okay.
but then Anna watches it.
Okay, I didn't know who was responding.
And what's funny is, so it was Renee that responded to you,
Okay.
and it was just, she
Need
was,
another one?
she was at the lake, and so she didn't know
Do I need
that
another?
it had been canceled, so,
Because,
The scheduled
we
post.
let
There's
Cole
a child
know,
in
hey, we
anyone's home.
need to lose
Yeah.
Renee, because Renee didn't know, and so it was a scheduled post, so it just went out.
I just sat on my couch and started my
She had
coffee
Oscar,
and I
it
said,
was came in handy last
odd.
year, but yeah.
So you probably, do you get our?
Katie, you want a second one?
You know?
I think one of my boys would be.
How about third? I already got
You know, my
Oh,
littlest
that's
son for the longest time, was a little, we called these his family packs.
Family packs?
Yeah, cause we said, it's your fanny pack, and cause we were
Your
looking
family
for like
pack.
Family.
a height or something, I
Ah,
gotta get my family pack.
So, you know, they're kind of making a resurgence,
Yeah, I
and
think they're cool,
so
cause they're good for like running.
I went to a store and I saw a young lady, 20-something, and she had it draped this way.
Yeah.
And so I asked her, said, hey, can I ask you a question? I said, and this might seem weird, but what do you call that bag? And she goes, oh, it's a fanny pack. So, her fanny pack, so she called that too, but
Nowadays,
her
my
hip bag,
crossbody bag.
huh?
Cross.
Crossbody, yeah, we've heard it say many things.
I bet a couple of my neighbors. didn't
A very
know
safe
what
bum
these-
bag.
Yeah, it's just advertising for
Wow.
us.
I'll get them out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, guys.
But I just wanna tell you, thank you,
You're welcome.
because if you wouldn't have said something, it was able for us to like, oh my gosh, yeah.
I think I did it right when you posted it.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying, that's the beauty, your eyes and ears in the community, so that was perfect.
Happy to help.
Yeah.
Are they big enough
I didn't have
to,
any disgruntled people show up that.
No,
it's-
we wouldn't
it's
want,
open.
we wouldn't, no, we would not want that at all, we would not want it.
are they big enough to hold a Sony Walkman?
The what?
The fanny
I'll
packs?
send you
Are they big
an,
enough for a Sony Walkman?
Email about
I
this
bet
one.
so. Actually.
They make me think of the 80s.
We
Please-
still have a
please
few
do.
of those and, well, the
And thank
tape
you for the
kind.
thanks, Coach.
I guess, none of the CD ones survived to show my kids. but-
Oh.
Yeah.
Sawtooth National Forest.
Yeah, I think I had one of those a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
The Discman.
Yeah, yeah, Discman.
Yeah.
I can't believe those didn't break, you know?
And do you remember like trying to walk around with it and it would like skip?
We'll let you know.
Mine? I don't think mine did.
Well, I didn't.
It's
tell you.
amazing for technology that
I'll copy them.
to be stable like that.
Now we just download it.
Yeah.
Alright, see you guys.
Have fun.
All right, see you later.
Thanks, George.